all visitors and guests to the January board meeting at this time. We're glad you're with us. We've already had an invocation. At this time, we'd like to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing on our agenda is approval of our agenda.
Mr. Chairman, could we add the calendar for the 2016-17 school year to that?
Yes.
We just add after the tubas down at the bottom.
Okay. We'll do that to you. We'll add the two purchase for the high school at the bottom. We'll add the calendar after the two purchase. Anything else?
That's all.
Next on the agenda is approval of our minutes of the previous meeting. I'm sure you had those emailed to you. Are there any questions or any concerns or anything we need to add to them? I'd entertain a motion, I'll entertain a motion to approve our calendar to our agenda.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair. Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Travis, can you? Okay. I'm sure I had the minutes emailed to you. Are there any questions or any concerns? Or anything need to be added to our minutes? If not, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes as submitted. Second.
All those in favor? Next on our agenda is presentation and discussions.
One of the things that we're very proud of is the success that our schools have had, especially when it comes to the state recognizing them. We received, matter of fact, right before the last board meeting on December 11th, an opportunity to recognize 3 of our schools. The Georgia Department of Education announced their 2015-2016 Title I reward schools. Title I is a program that helps those that are high poverty. Our schools, all of our schools, except with the exception of Woody Gap and the high school, qualify as Title I schools. Actually, they all qualify, but those are the ones that are served. What they did a few years ago, if you remember, you would see all these signs looking around saying the Title I distinguished school. There were a lot of schools that really, in all honesty, you drive by and you think, how are they distinguished? Because you knew kind of how you stacked up against some of them. And they changed the regulations behind those, and so I'll read what, there's 2 different types, but we fell under the highest performing school. The highest performing school is among the 5% of the state's Title I schools with the absolute highest performance over 3 years for all students group on the statewide assessments. A school may not be classified if they were being served as a priority, focus, or alert school. So 5% of Title I schools in Georgia comes out to 81 schools. So 81 schools in the state of Georgia were recognized. In our region, that's Pioneer-Risa region, there were a total of 7, and we had 3 of those 7. We had Union County Primary School, Union County Elementary School, and Union County Middle School. And I've asked the principals to be here tonight so that we could congratulate them and their staff on the work that goes into that. Very seldom do you see a school system that's able to show that progression across multiple schools. You might have one standout, but we're talking about over 60% free and reduced lunch for our students. You look at the list on here, and there are schools that have half that, and they're accomplishing what we're accomplishing. So we're just very, very proud of the work, the effort, just the drive that not only our teachers give, but that our students respond to it. And so we're just very proud to be able, again, I believe this is the elementary school's been distinguished for quite a few years prior to the reward part. I believe this is the 3rd year under reward school, the 2nd year for the middle school, and the primary school the 1st year. Previously, Woody Gap last year was recognized, but they're not receiving those funds this year, and the high school does not receive Title I funding. So we're just very proud to see that progression, especially K-12 or K-8, of all of the work and effort that goes on there to align what's going on within our schools.
Great job. Yeah, that's good. Appreciate that.
Yeah. what they'll do is they'll recognize and give us banners and signs when we go to the summer conference. If you go by those schools now, you'll see the signs up from previous years, and they'll have new signs to come up once next school year starts.
Good job. Next on our agenda is the Union County Sheriff's Office.
I'll be very brief. I'd like to thank the board and superintendent and his staff and the principals for all the good hard work they do and cooperation that we've gotten from them. As you know, about 3 or 4 months ago, we did a little restructuring, and we were going to come back before you to see if anybody had any problems or any questions. And if you do, then we need to hear about it, I guess.
Well, I have some.
Not you.
We have security cameras all over our facilities. And for a long time, we've been trying to figure out how to zoom those cameras in. Although recently we have bought some new ones that do that. But one of our SROs discovered how to do it. And it's been absolutely fabulous for the last 2 weeks, because you could zoom in on those kids who didn't do anything and see what they actually did. So, we want to praise the middle school SRO for figuring that out. That would be
Glad they didn't have those when I was in school. Very glad. The only other thing that I have is the commissioner for the last 3 years has given a 3% raise to the county employees. And it's my understanding, he said that he was going to do that again this year, somewhere in the neighborhood of the tail end of March or April. And since we went to the hourly rate, I think that would only be fair to, or for y'all to consider that in the 2 SROs that y'all pay for. They're the only 2 that I know of that would be affected in the county system, that wouldn't get it automatically through the county, since y'all put the bill on them for their benefits and their pay.
How much is that percentage? Do you know what it?
3%. That's what it's been being for the last 3 years.
If I may, it's about $1,100 a year. It's for the rest of the school year. If it's in March, your budget is in June. I think end of June, be about $300 or $400 impact until the next budget year.
Pretty minimal.
You want the answer on that tonight?
No, sir. No, we don't even know that it's gonna happen. I'm just,
Sure.
you know, it looks like it's going to. That's what he's alluded to.
I think the board take that into consideration. I don't see that being a big problem.
Right, no, I wasn't looking for an answer, putting it out to you, but it's happened the last 3 times, and he's pretty adamant that it's gonna happen this time, he thinks.
I haven't heard anything. Have we had any issues since our last meeting?
Since our last meeting, Sheriff, I think everything's gone really well. I've not heard any
Well, like
complaints
I say,
from any
if
principals.
it does, you know, if something comes up, you know, you holler at us.
We appreciate the cooperation.
Yeah,
We do too.
yeah. That meeting was good, well
Beneficial.
spent. We appreciate what y'all do for us.
All right, that's, I'm gonna be excused.
You have to raise your hand first.
I've been too many, I've had suffered from information overload today. Trust me, I need to go.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Sheriff.
Moving along on our agenda now, under action items, we have our financials. November, December financial statements.
Ms. Danke has attached a report of notes that she's made about anything you may have questions about there. Explain those things.
How close are we of completed the primary?
Very close. They expect it to be finished by the end of January was the last I heard. You heard anything change? Millie, you're up there today.
Maybe mid-February, with the floor
Furniture
change.
and floors.
Well, furniture's coming in every day,
Good.
so we're finding places to put it, store it until we can get it in the building.
Are you going to wait, just go ahead and wait till, next fall for you to start using, going ahead and put classrooms in there?
I think we're gonna go ahead and try to start getting some of those classrooms set up, and especially with the furniture, and get that in there, and then see where we are, upon opening it for students.
Depending on the weather issues that we have, not just tomorrow, but in the future. We'd planned on that February planning day, I think February 12th, for second grade teachers to use that day as a day to move. So anything that they needed to, of course, wouldn't be able to get everything. But that way it's a day already designated on the calendar. We don't have these other conversations about, well, when we're going to get it done. It's knowing that we've got the support of the maintenance and facilities guys, along with anybody that needs to help move things. One of the ideas that they threw around was having a couple rooms set up. Because the nice part is you're not having to move those tables,
Right.
you're not having to move the chairs, you're just having to move your
Their
materials. And with the amount of storage in there, no, it's not gonna look perfect on the walls, and it's not gonna be, ideal at first, but I think in time it'll look great.
The teachers and students are really excited to get in there. You're hearing little second graders saying, we're gonna get to move in, so they're excited.
I don't wanna have to explain to my second grader if you don't get to
No.
move.
Just for a little while before they move on.
That's right, just for a couple months.
They're more excited about getting to put their backpacks in those lockers than anything.
Yeah.
And they are really cute. They are nice.
On the collection, where are we on the collection?
For the tax, it's about 88%.
88.
End of December.
Any other questions on November, December financial statements? All right, entertain a motion to approve them as submitted.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Next thing on our agenda is the contract with the Council on Alcohol and Drugs, Family Connection contract. We talked about this earlier in our work session. Ms. Jones talked to us about it. She said there were a few changes with the state. Are there any questions from the board members about this? We went over this in a work session. No questions or concerns, I entertain a motion to approve the contract as submitted.
I'll make the motion to approve the contract as submitted.
All those in favor? Next on our agenda is contract agreement with Mountain Education. I think this is a no-brainer, we get more money, so we go 50,000 to 150,000, that's a pretty good deal, so. Are there any questions? We talked about this in a work session also. Are there any questions or anything anybody wants to ask?
Sir?
All right, I entertain a motion to approve the contract with Mountain Education Center. That's submitted to.
I'll make that motion to make one get some money.
I'll say that.
All those in favor? Unanimous? Next on our agenda is a tuba purchase. Mr. Stanford brought to us tonight, purchased 4 tubas from Notre Dame for $12,000. It'll be took out of general fund. And, as he talked to us in a work session, that they need a better tuba than what they've got, but, he does have middle schoolers, he said in the seventh grade, I think, that he had several, about 7 tuba players, so this is needed for a band, I think, excel. Plus, the older tubas can still be used by the 7th and 8th graders coming up. And it does do a little competition, we talked about that. And I'm sure the better tuba players, a year or two, will get the 4 best tubas.
That's right.
I'd entertain a motion for $12,000 to buy 4 tubas out of general fund.
I'll make a motion that we, take the general funds and buy the tubas from Notre Dame for our band. I second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Next on our agenda, we added to our agenda the Union County Schools 2016-17 calendar year for Blairsville and for Wood Gap. Are there any questions or anything the board would like to ask or any comments about it?
The biggest changes from last year to this year was the fact that we experimented this year with the shorter fall break, and we experimented for 1 year and found out that was not favored. And so we went back to a full week. All of the schools that the school governance teams, we were very pleased with the responses we got out of them. They're all very similar with minor modifications, 1 day, 1 shift, one way or the other. So the first day of school for students will be Friday, August the 5th. The last day will be Wednesday, May the 24th. We have 10 planning days in there as well. What's unique about this calendar is we have a couple of days designated as parent conferences, both about 30 days or so into each semester, giving the staff an opportunity to meet with families and students who may be struggling or may need some other issues to be addressed.
Any other questions or comments?
That's what I say, I'm glad to see the fall break back and miss up fall vacations for everybody.
I think attendance was a little low on that fall break week this year, and so that we got that taken care of.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the 2016 and 17 school calendar year for Blairsville campus and also for the Wood Gap campus at this time.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Next on our agenda is personnel recommendations. Under personnel recommendations, we have Dana Reese, community coach, Summer Weisner, UCLEC new position, Kimberly Womack, UCLEC, Roger Gaynor, SMP sub, Shirley Bryson, parapro to part-time teacher, 49% teacher, correct? And we have 1 separation, Crystal Hart, paraprofessional, which is effective 1/31/16.
Miss Shirley will still be part-time parapro, part-time teacher.
Part-time parapro, part-time teacher. How does the board want to take these? You want to take them all as a whole, or you want to separate them out? Yeah. I'd entertain a motion for the hires, the change in positions, promotion, position changes, and separations. That's submitted.
I'll make a motion we accept the personnel recommendations as submitted. I second.
All those in favor? Unanimous? I'd entertain a motion to dismiss at this time if there's not anything else on the report.